Folks, we are back in the wonderful world of Grand Theft Auto 5, and today we're going to examine the quality of construction sites in the city of Los Santos. Now, as you can tell, I got my safety vest on. I don't have a helmet on. I'm going to go get my helmet. Folks, I'm all dressed for the occasion. I got my vest on, I got my helmet on, and we're in the city of Los Santos today in Grand Theft Auto 5. And oftentimes I'm wondering, wow, there's a lot of construction sites around here. I wonder if they're safe. Well, guess what? That's exactly what we're going to figure out today. Today, we're going to examine the quality of construction sites in Grand Theft Auto 5. Grab your helmets, grab your vests, and let's go. Now, folks, you're probably wondering, hey, Joey C., how do we examine the quality of construction sites in the wonderful world of Grand Theft Auto 5? Well, folks, for you, I got a list. The first point is, do they have an office on site? Is there a safe place to keep all documentation, permits, and all your other paperwork together in one place? And is there a safe place for all the auditors and other inspectors to work out of? The second point is structural integrity. Examining the quality of the foundations for any cracks, defects, or any other signs of poor workmanship. What is the foundation made out of? Is it solid? The third point is worker safety. Is there proper personal protection equipment available for the workers? Are they wearing their vests and their helmets? Is there proper guardrails on edges to make sure that the workers don't fall off? Is there any sort of netting to catch any worker if they do fall off? It's a very dangerous job, folks, and guess what? We're going to find out if these construction sites are really safe. Now, the first construction site that we're visiting today is Alta Construction Site in downtown Los Santos. And I gotta tell you, folks, this is a big and beautiful construction site. Lots of things happening right now, and we're gonna see if it's safe. So I'm very happy to announce that they do have an office right in the front of the construction site, which is very easily accessible to anybody who needs to work in that office. And I also have to say they have a very secure door on this office, which is pretty impressive. I'm not sure what they have to protect, perhaps blueprints or any other important documentation that the city requires, but I'm glad to see that they have a proper door because I'm not sure if people break into these things or not, but I'm glad it's right in the front. I'm also happy to announce that they do have a second office in the back of the construction site, which is pretty good, especially for a big construction site like this one. It's good to have different offices because you might have different departments coming in and working. And judging by the amount of people around this office, this is probably the main one. And the fact that they have two offices on this construction site, green check mark, baby, that's fantastic! Taking a look at the structural integrity of this building that's being built, I gotta tell you, I'm very impressed with this because we have concrete around steel beams. That's not going anywhere, folks, and that's pretty good. Taking a much closer look, we do see some divots here in the concrete, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm sure that doesn't affect the structural integrity of this building, considering the building is still standing and it's way tall. So I'm pretty impressed with this so far. I'm also proud to announce that underneath the second tower on this large construction site around here, we have a gigantic concrete foundation behind me. This is really fantastic, folks. This is like borderline impenetrable. It's like a base. It's like a military base. This building is not going anywhere. It is swaying a bit. I don't like that. Another good thing to point out is we do have this wonderful unfinished elevator shaft right in the middle of the building. And although it may be unfinished, it's completely made out of concrete and steel beams. This is going to add a lot of integrity to the structure. Now, these steel beams that are in place on the first floor seem to be about 2 feet wide. Now, I'm no scientist, but 2 feet wide steel beams, those babies aren't going anywhere. This is a fantastic build so far. Taking a closer look at the concrete on the first floor, I don't see any sort of gaps in the concrete here, which is really good because concrete settles, folks, and when it settles, it has a tendency to break apart or separate and create any sort of gaps in the concrete, and this has none, and that is another sign of great workmanship. And all that being said, structural integrity, green check mark, baby, good lord! I didn't realize how hard it was to say the words structural integrity. I never want to say it again. Now, I just want to point out as a side note, there are a lot of bathrooms around this construction site. And if you've ever seen any of my examination videos on my channel, you know that I love bathrooms. So the fact that this construction site has multiple bathrooms like this, that's fantastic. That gets an honorary green check mark. In terms of worker safety measures, I got to point out this fellow construction worker here on the ledge smoking a cigarette without a helmet on and without a proper guardrail installed. And I have to be honest with you folks, this construction site is getting fined for this infraction. That is unacceptable. Now, this guy has a proper vest on, a proper helmet on, and a clipboard, so he must be an inspector of some sort. And he's just making sure that everybody follows the rules in this construction site, and I could really get down with that. Now, you're probably wondering, hey, Joey C., where's your helmet? And I gotta be honest with you, if I wore my green construction helmet, it would blend in with my green screen. So, because of that, I can't wear it. Sorry. Now, this gentleman over here was welding this pipe before we rudely interrupted him, and now he stopped. It is important to note that he is wearing a proper face shield, but he is not wearing his helmet. He may have his regulation vest on, but it's very dirty, as you can see. But the fact that he doesn't have a helmet is just unacceptable to me, and I'm going to bring that directly to his supervisor. Now, these folks over here are having a little smoke break. They're smoking on the job, and I got to tell you, 2 out of 3... pretty good. But the guy in the back is a rule breaker. No vest, no helmet. Unbelievable. That is getting reported immediately. I don't care if you're smoking or you're eating a sandwich or you're drinking a little Kool-Aid jammer. It doesn't matter. When you enter the construction site, you have to wear a helmet. Good God. The lack of helmets around here is absolutely despicable, folks. And looking around the construction site, for proper guardrails, there's really not a lot of them. There's like a few in some sections, and in other sections they have giant gaping holes with no netting or any sort of fall protection for any of the workers. And the fact that there's so many violations in this third category, I have no choice but to do this. Red X! Alta construction site, what is wrong with you? Good God, I'm getting sick to my stomach. We're gonna drive off to the next construction site because I'm so upset. I gotta file this paperwork. Where's the manager or the guy that runs this construction site? Because this is sick. Now, folks, the next construction site that we have arrived at is the La Puerta Apartments, located near Vespucci Beach in Los Santos. Now, looking at the first point, do they have proper offices? I'm very happy to report that these folks have 2 offices right next to each other in the front of the construction site, which is just fantastic. Perhaps one is to keep all the paperwork, blueprints, documentations, and permits, and the other one is a nice safe place for the inspectors to work out of. Matter of fact, I wish they would let me in there so I could work out of that, because I got a lot of paperwork to file from the last construction site. Come to find out, they actually have a 3rd office right down the alley here, which is fantastic. The more offices in a construction site, the better. You can't have too many offices, folks, because that ensures safety requirements are followed throughout the city of Los Santos construction site. So that's just fantastic, folks. I'm very happy with that. And with all that being said, the first point, do they have an office? Green check mark, baby. Good God. Structural integrity seems to be very similar to what we looked at in the first construction site. As you can see behind me, we have a giant concrete barrier style bunker basically for the foundation, and I gotta tell you, that is very sturdy. This is going nowhere. Good God. Hello! Now, looking at the foundational posts, we do see giant steel beams, which is fantastic because what they are going to do is cover them in concrete. I've seen the blueprints, believe me. And so rest assured, concrete degrades in the weather, and it splits apart, it breaks apart. Underneath that concrete, very sturdy concrete, might I add, is giant steel beams. So you can imagine these buildings are going to be quite safe in the tropical environment that is Los Santos. Now let's move up to the areas up there and see how the structural integrity looks from the sky. Now up here, we do see the same steel beams that are being used below us for the foundation. And I gotta tell you, taking a look at the steel frame of this building, this thing is solid. S-O-L-I-D. Solid, folks. This thing ain't going nowhere. And based on all the structural integrity points that I've seen and the craftsmanship that I have witnessed today, second point, structural integrity, green check mark, baby, fantastic. Again, I'm very proud to say that this construction site does have bathrooms. These folks work very hard. They need a place to relieve themselves, for God's sake. So honorary green check mark. Good God. Moving on to worker safety measures, we have the same problems that plagued us in the last construction site. Personal protection equipment. It's unbelievable. It's a fucking virus, folks. Now over here we see three men working. One of them is jackhammering. He does have a vest on and he does have work boots on, but he has shorts on when he's jackhammering. That is a huge no-no. Are you serious? And the other two guys, they may have vests on, but they don't have helmets on. And folks, I don't know if you know this, but helmets are required in construction sites throughout the city of Los Santos. This isn't just a little thing they're breaking. It's not like they're going 5 miles over the speed limit going, wait, do I can drive as fast as I want. No, you get hit in the head by a brick, you're dead. D-E-A-D, dead. I also want to give the guy props over here for wearing hearing protection. Good on him. It's very important to protect your ears, man. You only have 2 of them. You can never get them replaced unless you get that surgery on your brain or you get ear transplants, which I'm sure somebody's working on now. I don't know. Now, also, we see this guy on this ledge on his phone. No vest, no helmets, no proper guardrails. Are you serious? Do you know how easy it is to fall off the ledge? You could be checking MySpace, right? And you take one step off and you're dead. Dude, I already spelled it before in the last clip. I don't have to do it again. It's ridiculously irresponsible. And matter of fact, looking at this site, we have the same problem that we had in the last time. We have guardrails that are periodically sprinkled in throughout the site. Giant gaping holes. A little guardrail, like a little piece of tape, a little like plastic fence. That's not gonna stop anybody. You need like piping, dude. You need like concrete walls. Build the walls first, for God's sakes. I don't see any of them strapped up to a beam or anything. No, this is unbelievable. And that being said, worker safety measures, Red X. That is so ridiculous. I can't even think straight. I cannot even form a fucking proper sentence. Good God, I'm sweating. I'm wearing a beanie in Los Santos. And the third and final construction site that we're visiting today, folks, is the Paleto Bay construction site, located at the very northern part of Los Santos. Looking at the first point, do they have an office? I was getting scared because I was walking through this construction site, and I got to be honest with you, I did not see an office. But here it is, located and hidden, if you ask me, in the very back of the construction site, which I think the location is pretty shitty because the entrance is way over there. The office should be way over there, but it seems to be a populated area because they do have bathrooms next to the office, which is just accessible and convenient. And honestly, there's not much more else to say. Green checkmark, baby. Beautiful. An office and a bathroom. I gotta pee really bad. Now, in terms of structural integrity, there's not much to inspect because the building isn't even built yet. All we can inspect is the foundation posts. And I gotta tell you, I'm pretty impressed so far. On my right, we can see a very good example of the beginning stages of a foundation post. We see rebar being placed before the concrete gets poured, which is pretty nice, so you know it's secure over there. On my left, we see a finished version of a foundational post with the concrete dried. That's pretty good too. We even see an example of a foundation post with wet concrete with wood holding together the wet concrete. And I gotta say, all in all, I have no complaints. Structural integrity, green check mark, man, that's fantastic. There's not much to inspect. The building isn't built yet, but you know this building ain't going anywhere because they are taking their sweet time crafting these foundational posts. Looking at the worker safety measures, I gotta say I'm impressed so far. Also, the sun is going down. I'm really sorry about that. We'll finish up this point and then we'll come back in the morning. But we do see a hole being dug, presumably for a foundation. I'm not quite sure. I haven't looked at the blueprints of this particular construction site. But around the edges of the hole, we do see yellow, bright yellow fencing protecting anybody from falling in. Not necessarily protecting them from falling in, but protecting them from walking near it. You know to stay away because there is an edge. So perhaps it's just like a visual guideline to stay away from the edges of the hole, because looking into that hole, that seems pretty deep. All right, let's come back in the morning when it's brighter. All right, we're back in the morning. It's good. It's nice and warm out here. I should take the beanie off, but I'm not gonna because my hair's a mess. We do see some gentlemen having a smoke break. Hopefully not on the clock, because I got to tell you, that's another infraction altogether. And we do see one guy with a vest and a helmet. Fantastic. But guess what? Something we've seen a million times before. The other guy, no vest, no helmet. It's like a virus in the city. It is running rampant, but don't worry. After I report all my infractions that I've seen throughout all these construction sites either shut down or go under heavy regulation. I'm gonna save this city. We do see another group of folks. Now, they may be on break, but once again, it doesn't matter. Wear your vests and wear your helmets. Once your little legs walk into the gate of the construction site, you put that helmet on and it stays on until you walk out of the fence area. This is unbelievable. And in fact, I'm so mad, I don't even need to see anything more. Guess what? Worker safety measures, Red X, unbelievable. All three construction sites got the same score. It's sickening, absolutely sickening. I gotta calm down so I can do my outro. Folks, I hope you really enjoyed this examination of the construction sites in the wonderful world of Grand Theft Auto 5. I gotta tell you, I quite enjoyed it, folks. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments below. Join my Discord. If you want to support the channel, you can hit subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. We're almost at 5,000. You can also become a YouTube channel member or go to patreon.com/officialjoeyc for all your exclusive Joey C needs. Behind the scenes videos, including one for this video in particular, with a lot of other ones. We have a lot of fun stuff out there, and you'd be supporting the channel. Thank you to all my wonderful patrons. I greatly appreciate them. Those folks keep the dream alive. You can also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/officialjoeyc. We do a lot of live streams there, and we have a lot of fun, folks. And with that, I'm going to leave you with one thing. Actually, two things. Thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Keep your eye out for the next video, episode, movie, live stream, whatever it is, man. Listen, the final thing. Cherish the precious moments, be loved, and stay, dude. I'm out of here. Turn the green screen off. I bought this vest for this video, and I couldn't even wear my helmet here because it blends in, and that's not good at all. So I'm going to go make a ham and cheese sandwich and relax on the couch. So, folks, see you later. Alrighty.